Hey y'all, Donna here. I saw that Laxmi Dairy Girl put up a video about this Long Dream farm, and she said she was going to do this series on farms that don't, they're ethical, they don't slaughter. She's ultimately going to prove to us, because we all told her that there was no way to do this, that you can have dairy farms without having to slaughter these animals. And so this is the farm right here where I go through the article. You can find many ethical forums. So that's all she's going to do is look up these ethical forums and read from it. And this doesn't really prove anything. There are so many forums like this, and this is great. This is the way we should be striving to get our milk and our meat as well. These forums like this that are more ethical, they're local, they're smaller. But ultimately, regardless, and this one keeps the calves together with the mom for 9 months. That's, a pretty lengthy amount of time. But they have to go somewhere after that, these male cows. If it's a female, they can grow up there and, become pregnant themselves and give milk. And you get less back, obviously, and if you weren't to separate the baby, you're going to get less milk. So there are a few things that can be done. They can be sold for veal, they can be sold back into the beef industry, or they could actually select breed and try to breed only females. So that's, a manipulation. It's unnatural, and smaller farms aren't doing this. There's a financial loss in doing this as well. So the people that are doing this, they have to be really willing to lose out, put in a lot of hard work for very little is basically what it comes down to. And Laxmi says it's her dream, so great, that's what we need. People like that really care and really love these animals and really want people to be nourished on quality milk. So when you see milk like this in the store for $1 a gallon, just know, and I understand not everyone can pay for expensive milk, or not everybody can go out to a local farm, but we should be trying to do that when we can. And yeah, when you're paying for cheap milk like this, know that you're losing quality. The ethics are out the window at this point, because these are very large scale farms that can produce milk for this cheap. This comes with a price. And it's also snuffing out the small farms, That's what they're doing. When they put milk this cheap, the consumer just sees the price and they grab this milk full of antibiotics, steroids, the works. And they're not willing to pay for the $5 gallon of milk, even though it's better. Even if it's pasteurized, it's better. But yeah, they're putting these smaller farms out of business. This is happening all the time, all over. But anyway, this is an article about this woman that actually reminded me of Laxmi. She really loves her cows, and she wants to keep them together. She has a small dairy farm, but like I said, it comes with a price. But what they don't talk about in these articles, and what Laxmi won't answer when we comment on her channel asking her about this, where do they go after this period of, nursing on their mother? They're not, after 9 months, and that's pretty lengthy for even these ethical farms. Where do they go? They have to be sold into the beef industry. There's not this mysterious fairy tale land where all of these bulls go and live out their lives happily. These are domesticated animals that we've bred for our consumption, for our use. And so if we're not making sure they're all female, specifically with dairy farms, then the males have to go somewhere. And hopefully as these movements flourish and grow, we'll see more of these smaller farms pop up, and we'll support more of them, and we'll have better quality products and food to give ourselves and our family. But these bulls still have to go somewhere. This is a fairy tale, thinking that we don't have to kill them, and we're going to be producing more of them as this movement grows, you see. So yeah, this is a fairy tale that Lakshmi has. It's like a vegan sort of fairy tale where they're not killing anything except for insects and maybe a bunny here and there. And I've talked about this before. The deer, the little chipmunks, the bunnies, they all go into these monocrop fields and they put their babies down either in nests, or like the deer will sleep down in the ground and they get chopped up to bits by the tractor. You know, this is the harsh reality of it. We as humans, as animals ourselves, we have to take lives to nourish our own selves. We have to. Whether, you know, you're eating plants, animals, doesn't matter, especially if you're eating from monocrops. You are killing a lot of animals. So you might as well eat beef. You might as well kill 1 cow a year or so. And even, you know, just shop locally. If you want to take less lives, shop locally, whether it's your plants or and you will need less of a variety. You won't need stuff shipped from all over the place. And you can be sure you're killing less, because when you're getting food from a small garden, that's a lot different than these huge crops that are chopping up who knows how many animals that are going and laying down and sleeping in these fields, or just having to use pest control to actively kill them. So yeah, you do it as ethically as best you can. You don't waste. You understand that we have to take life to have life. And so we have to get our hands dirty. There is blood on our hands. Whether you're drinking freaking milk only, or you're vegan, or you're a carnivore, there's no one way to make sure you're not taking any lives. And it can be debated all day long, who's taking more, who's taking less. So if Lakshmi wants to prove anything to us, she can show us where all these bulls are going, where these sanctuaries are, where they're using them to plow fields, and they're just living out their lives as domesticated animals. I mean, there has to be a bunch of these sanctuaries if they're not being killed.
So, a lot of vegans want animal products. Like, that's the food you want.